Awesome. Just quick slide on the use cases here before we jump in. So we've released this feature on the PromptQL Playground console, where you can now upload any file as an artifact, which now you can use to analyze existing data in the database. The primary use case is that, hey, you already have some data in your database and probably across multiple sources. Now you have some new document or new text file or a JSON, CSV, XML, or any kind of text format that you want to add as context real time for that particular chat thread. Now you can do that with PromptQL Playground. You can just add those as artifacts. And with the API also, you should be able to now upload these files as context for that particular thread. And the second use case is that, hey, even if there is no existing data that you want to like play around with, if you have like a large file, you now have access to like our Python runtime, which lets you like do any kind of computation, transformation of data pretty quickly. Although the UI currently has a 10 MB limit, you can use the API to upload files and then use the Python runtime and the execute program API to do any kind of computation with files. Primarily, I think probably with CSVs and any kind of Excel files and whatnot. But then you have access to this runtime, which lets you do some of this, right? So to demonstrate this, I have like 3 use cases here and 3 different file formats to showcase. This is like a healthcare supergraph that I have, and imagine so that's like patient data here, insurance details, and case activity and whatnot, right? The use case here is, hey, I have now gotten like a policy memo, like an insurance plan policy memo, which has a bunch of changes. Now, I want to understand how does this affect the current cases that are there in the patient records and whatnot, right? So I'm going to like quickly ask, can you summarize the policy changes? And then as soon as you like attach the file, it will come up as a memory artifact, and PromptQL will read this content from this artifact. So it will read this and it'll give a summary. This could be probably in the future, we will have PDF as well, but then right now it should be like a text file format. So this is a quick summary of what has changed in the policy. It looks like a couple of insurance plans has some changes with respect to pre-authorization. It's increased to like 5 days. I think previously the database had 2 days and whatnot. So there are a few changes here. So I'm going to ask a quick follow-up question to say, hey, which of the current cases does this policy change affect? And then we can now like map the existing data and then compare it with the policy memo to see what action need to be taken for the existing customer list. So that would be like a use case for anybody on the admin side who might want to like make changes to the database or the workflow that they're looking at in the API integration and whatnot. So now we've gotten a response. It looks like all current cases will be affected, and it also has a reasoning behind why. So given the scale of impact, we should prioritize cases that have high urgency levels. And then I think you also have the urgency level in the database column. So you have the urgency being urgent, routine, critical. So you can now prioritize updating the policy changes for these customers. Right, and then the pre-authorization changed from 2 days to 5 days. So those changes need to be reflected to the database. So now this could also be like a human-in-the-loop step where a follow-up mutation happens, which will change the data in the database to reflect that. Right. So it's one use case, a simple TXT file with just like a policy memo interacting with existing data. I have another use case where this is pretty big super graph. I need to zoom in to show you what the different tables are. But this is for telecom use case. where you have customers, you have network performance issues being tracked, and customer support issues keep coming up for different devices. There could be activation issues on the network and whatnot, right? So again, pretty large schema. You have network, you have support tickets here, and then you have customers. So again, there's a use case where you have an XML file which would compile a few customer support tickets being listed out. So I would like to start with, hey, can you summarize the support tickets here? And then again, it would upload the XML file. Then we'll use the Python runtime to parse this and then extract some key details here to get a summary of what the issues are. So let's understand what the XML file itself talks about before interacting with the R data, which is already in the database. So it's trying to extract the case ID, customer information, issue details, status, and the stuff that's there in the XML schema. And of course, there could be some errors in the file, and then the parser just retries, right? So we have a runtime, Python runtime, which will do a retry. So just quickly looking at the code itself, you can see the XML extractor. We haven't given any system tuning for this. It just uses a default Python XML library to import this data and then do some parsing. So it, yeah, looked like the structure is different. So it's going to retry again. Let's wait for that to happen. And I think the common errors that typically happen with these is when the column names or the field names in any kind of file format, could be JSON, could be CSV or XML, is if it is in camel casing. For some reason, LLMs like snake casing. So that's where the typical ambiguity comes in, and LLM just get confused with the type of data it's trying to parse. But yeah, eventually it has now parsed this file, and then it has some support tickets here, some categories of issues, which is broad here: network connectivity, billing dispute, device activation, plan upgrade, and whatnot, right? Along with the summary of the severity. Now, the job for us is to like see if there are similar issues in the database that are being reported, right? So can you find if there are similar issues in our DB? Pretty simple question, but then it now PromptQL needs to understand the context of this new file that we've uploaded, the new issues that are there in this, and then just check with the database again to get back a solid comparison. Let's see how this query takes. Anthropic has been behaving a little bit weird today, so we'll see. All right, so it is going to search the database for similar support issues to those found in the XML file. And typically with PromptQL, it will use the already available artifact. So it will, if you look at the code, it will first get the artifacts before doing any kind of processing. And again, as we already know, none of the artifacts that you see on the right, the memory artifacts, they are never in the LLM's context. So the amount of data that you can process with this could just technically be infinite, right? So because you're just doing this outside of the context window of the LLM. Now let's see. Yeah, there's some response. So it has found out that there are some potential issues similar to what we've uploaded on the XML file. It looks like there are like 20 customer plans with inactive or problematic status. And we look at the final artifacts. So these are the issue plans which have similar issues. So This is one of the use cases where now again this is an XML file, and again this format could be whatever, right? Finally, I wanted to showcase another use case. Again, I think this was a demo from Anushrut as well, where he looked at anti-money laundering as a use case. Let's say we have another file, a JSON file, where we have new set of customers being imported, and before the import happens, we want to quickly verify if they have anything to do in our existing database, in our sanction database. Right. So the question could be like, hey, screen these customers against our sanctions database. So screen these customers against our sanction database. And the JSON gets uploaded as an artifact. And it will try to query the sanctions database here, and then compare the customer details if there is like an existing list, and then if there is like a pattern here where we're seeing a new customer trying to get into the DB. And again, PromptQL retries with some quick SQL or program fixes. So yeah, it has found that there are no matches. So these are the existing customers, and then from the new list that we've uploaded, doesn't seem to be any match, and it comes up with a match confidence score as well to be able to tell that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show. Broadly, there are different use cases for different file formats, but then the idea is that you can now add that as context to your particular chat thread to compare it and analyze with your existing data that PromptQL already has access to. Quickly before dropping off, I wanted to also like point out that hey, if you have like very large files, you can now use the CSV connector that we have, which just imports any kind of file, any number of files as well, and then you can just chat with that. The other way is to like if you have files in your cloud storage, which could be S3, Google Cloud, Azure, or from your file system, and you can use the storage connector that we have, and then just add your files and then just authenticate with your buckets with the right configuration, and then you can start using PromptQL to also like start asking questions. So yeah, that's all I had for today. Let me stop sharing. Yeah.
Thank you, Praveen. That was awesome. I think that before any of the questions start coming through on the chat over here, people are going to probably ask, right? So the first demo that we looked at was around healthcare. What considerations are there for, sensitive information or private information being put in the context of these LLMs?
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, the artifacts that you upload or the data that's there in the database is typically not available for the LLM in PromptQL's runtime use case. And the reason being, it's all handled outside of the context. And the only case where LLMs actually get access to the data is when they do summarization or classification or extraction, where it actually needs that data access. But otherwise, PromptQL is just writing query plans and writing some code to do the data retrieval and do computation. It doesn't need access to the data unless it's actually required for an AI primitive task. So yeah.
Awesome. That context is really helpful. Play on words there, context or pun at least, I guess. Let's see. No other questions have come through, so I'll just ask you to hang around. And folks, if you have questions for Praveen in particular, you can still ask them in that Q&A section, and you can answer them off screen for anybody that may have a question that comes through. Thanks, Praveen.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah.